A very warm good morning to all dear students. Prevention is better than cure. With this phrase, I wish you and your family members enjoying good health. Take good care of yourselves, hydrate your body to the full and take balanced diet. So from all these guidelines, you can protect yourself and from your family members from this pandemic. So children, we have completed chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Now we are on chapter number 3. We will be starting today this chapter, and the name of the chapter is Fibers to Fabrics. Okay, in this chapter we will discuss that how we have obtained the fibers from animals particularly, and we will be discussing about wool, then we will discuss about rearing and breeding of sheep, then we will discuss about the processing of wool fibers, then we will discuss about silk, and in the last we will also discuss about the rearing of silkworms. So all these topics will be included in this chapter. So let us start our chapter. So, in today's class, we will concentrate our studies towards the introduction of this chapter. In this today's class, we will discuss only about the introduction. What about animal fibers? We will discuss something about wool and rearing and breeding of sheep, and what are the different variety or breed of sheep that are used for obtaining the wool. So only these few topics we will discuss today. Let us move to the topic. So we know that fibers are long, they are strong and flexible thread-like structures that are used to make fabrics, or we can say that are used to make clothing materials. So natural fibers means they are obtained from plants and animals, and cotton and jute are obtained from plants, whereas wool and silk fibers are obtained from animals. Nylon, terylene, rayon, etc. They are some human made or synthetic fibers, and they are made by different chemicals. So in the previous class also we have discussed about how cotton fibers are obtained from cotton plants. Now we will discuss how fibers are obtained from animals, starting with animal fiber. See, wool and silk are animal fibers. They are basically made up of proteins. You can see these sheeps. These are used to obtain the wool. And we can also obtain wool from the fur of sheep, Angora goat, yak, rabbit, camel, alpaca, etc. So these all are the animals from where we get the wool, and the bodies of these animals is covered by thick coat of hair, which we call it fleece. And if we will talk about silk, we get the silk from the silkworms. Now, as I told you that we will discuss something about wool today. So, this is wool. It is present as a thick coat of hair on the body of the wool yielding animals. What happens when the air gets trapped in the spaces between the wool fibers? We know that air is a bad conductor of heat, so it doesn't allow our body heat to escape and make us feel warm. That is why woolen clothes are worn in winters. When the sweaters or any woolen textile is knitted, then there is holes between them, and in that holes or in that spaces air gets trapped, and that air, because it is a bad conductor, it doesn't allow heat to come out, so we feel warm. And wool has a high tensile strength and has high elasticity, and it can absorb a large amount of water. It is light in weight and it can be easily dyed. It is present in various colors. It is available in lot of variety, lot of colors. On account of these properties, the fabric made from wool has ability to retain shapes better than the fabrics made from other natural materials. So now we will talk something about rearing and breeding of sheep. So, rearing of sheep means to look after these sheep and by providing them food, shelter, and healthcare facilities. In India, if we will talk about, then sheep are mainly reared in hilly areas of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand, etc. The person who looks after the sheep is known as shepherd. And sheep are herbivores in nature and they mainly eat grass and leaves. So what do the shepherd do? They take the herds of sheep. Herds means a group of sheep to open grasslands for grazing. Apart from grazing grass, the sheep are also fed a mixture of pulses, corn, jowar, oil cakes or material left after taking out from seeds. Okay, oil from seeds. When we take out the oil from seeds, the remaining part also is being given to these sheep, and in winters they are kept indoors and fed on leaves, grains and dry fodder. So these are the eating habits of a sheep. And in case of animals, breeding is done. What do you mean by breeding, beta? This topic you need to listen very carefully. That breeding is done to obtain animals with desired character. Suppose I want a particular characteristic of an animal. In that case, breeding is the only method. The two individuals of desired characters are selected as parents. Means we have to take two parents. Both of them are having some of the good characteristics, some of the desired characteristics, and they are then crossed. Now they are then crossed to obtain, or they are made to reproduce to obtain new breeds of the animals, and the new breeds is having both the characteristics of the parents, and this is called selective breeding. We have to select. What do you mean by this word selective breeding? We have to select some of the desired characteristics, then we have to make available to the new breed. So they reproduce among themselves to produce the new breeds. With this process, certain high yielding breeds of sheep have been raised. They have thick coat of hair on their bodies which yields good quality wool. The name of the some breeds of sheep in our country for obtaining wool, the quality of the wool obtained and the names of states are as follows. First one is Lohi. Let us discuss these breeds in detail.